Let me ask you something. Have you ever said, I'm just lazy? Let me break something to you gently but firmly. You are not lazy. You are not lazy. You are either uninspired, undisciplined, or overwhelmed. But laziness is not your identity. It is not your destiny. It is not your permanent label. It is a condition, a bad habit, a sneaky, recurring thought pattern. And like any bad habit, it can be broken. You see, laziness is just an emotional response dressed up in sweatpants. It's your brain saying, avoid pain, seek comfort. That's it. But guess what? Comfort is not where greatness grows. You don't grow six-pack abs on a recliner. You don't build an empire scrolling through TikTok unless you're posting something epic. You don't become the best version of yourself by being the most rested version of yourself. Now I get it. Life is hard. Motivation is fickle. The couch is soft. And Doritos, delicious. But listen to me carefully. The dream in your heart is stronger than the temptation in your bed. Let's get nerdy for a second. Laziness often comes from procrastination, and procrastination is not about time management. It's about emotion management. When you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid of failure, your brain says, let's avoid this task to avoid these feelings. So what do? You open Instagram, you clean your entire kitchen. You rearrange your bookshelf in alphabetical order based on the author's astrological sign. It's not that you don't want to succeed, it's that you don't want to feel bad while trying. So here's the secret. You need to take action before you feel ready. Why? Because action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about it. Have you ever felt unmotivated to go to the gym, but then once you were there, you felt energized? That's how it works. Motion creates emotion. Start moving and the feelings will follow. Now let's talk about what laziness is really costing you. Because laziness is expensive, my friends. It's not just costing you time. It's costing you opportunities, relationships, money, health, peace of mind. Every minute spent in laziness is a minute stolen from your purpose. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a man who had $1 million idea. He knew it would work. Everyone he told agreed, but he said, I'll start it next month. That became next year. And the idea, it died. It died not because it wasn't good, but because it wasn't executed. Now imagine that man is you. Imagine waking up 10 years from now and realizing that the version of you who could have changed your life never showed up because you hit snooze. Harsh, maybe, but necessary, absolutely. Because the truth is, laziness kills more dreams than failure ever will. Let me introduce you to laziness' worst enemy, discipline. Now before you roll your eyes thinking, here we go with the boring productivity talk, let me redefine discipline for you. Discipline is not waking up at 5 a.m. and running 12 miles unless you're into that. Discipline is simply the decision to act in alignment with your goals instead of your moods. That's it. Discipline says, I'm tired, but I'll do it anyway. Discipline says, I don't feel like it, but I said I would. Discipline says, the couch is calling, but my purpose is louder. Here's a fun way to look at it. Laziness is like that friend who always wants to hang out, but never has a plan. Discipline is that friend who shows up on time with a checklist and snacks. And which friend builds the life you want? Exactly. So, how do you build discipline? Start small. Micro disciplines. 1 glass of water before coffee, 1 push-up a day, 1 page of a book, 1 email sent, 1 uncomfortable but honest conversation. When you string together small wins, you start believing in yourself. And self-belief is the ultimate laziness killer. People ask me all the time, how do I stay motivated? Let me break it to you like a comedian at a therapy session. You don't. Motivation is like a cat. It comes when it wants, leaves when it wants, and ignores you when you need it most. So instead of relying on motivation, create systems. Don't say, I'll work when I feel like it. Say, at 10 a.m. every day, I sit down and work for 90 minutes no matter what. Motivation is a spark. Systems are the firewood. Also, this is important. Stop trying to do it all at once. You don't need to go from couch potato to productivity guru overnight. You just need to go from couch potato to slightly less potato. Set realistic goals, reward progress, forgive mistakes, and laugh at yourself a little. Remember, you're not a robot. You're a human, and humans are messy, emotional, often irrational creatures, but we are also capable of incredible transformation. Let's take a break and laugh at our own ridiculousness for a second. You ever notice how you can sit still for 4 hours watching Netflix, but the moment you open a book, your body becomes a yoga instructor? Suddenly you need to stretch, scratch, get a snack, walk your cat, check the weather in Portugal. Why? Because your brain is like a toddler, it wants candy, not vegetables. And discipline? That's the broccoli of the mind. But you've got to outwit your toddler brain, trick it. Say, we're just going to work for 5 minutes, and before you know it, you've done 30. Say, we're just going to write 1 sentence, and suddenly you've written 2 pages. You're smarter than your excuses, you're stronger than your cravings, and honestly, you're funnier than your fears. So laugh at the laziness, then get back to work. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So here's a question. Who are you surrounded by? If you hang out with people who make excuses, guess what you'll become? If your friends say, let's chill more than let's build, you're in the wrong circle. You need to be around people who inspire you, who challenge you, who say things like, what's the goal this week? Did you hit your deadline? You've got this, no more slacking. Accountability is a laziness repellent. Find a tribe that calls you up, not just hangs out. And if you don't have that tribe yet, be that person for yourself. Be your own hype squad, your own coach, your own drill sergeant and cheerleader in one. Here's the final punch to the gut. You're going to die. Not to be morbid, but let's be real. You don't have forever. You don't have time to waste. The clock is ticking whether you act or not. So the question is, what do you want to leave behind? Do you want your legacy to be, he had great potential but loved naps more? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who showed up even when it was hard? Because that's all greatness really is, showing up consistently. Show up tired, show up scared, show up uncertain, but just keep showing up. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more persistent ones. Chapter 9, the final battle. So now we come to the final battle, you versus laziness. Here's your weapon, action. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, now. Stand up, drink water, stretch, write a list, make the call, send the email, start the project, read the book, clean your room, meditate, pray, move, create, build. Do one thing that breaks the cycle. Because when you act even imperfectly, laziness loses its grip. And every time you act, you send a message to yourself. I am not lazy. I am powerful. I am in control. Let me leave you with this. You don't kill laziness once. It's not a one-time battle where you swing your sword, defeat the dragon, and then ride off into a sunset of productivity. No, laziness is a sneaky, shape-shifting enemy. It doesn't announce its return. It creeps back quietly in the form of, I'll do it later, or one day won't hurt, or I deserve a break. It shows up when you're tired. It whispers when you're unsure. And it always offers the path of least resistance. But here's the truth. The path of least resistance never leads to greatness. You kill laziness every single day. With every decision, every action, every moment, you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over comfort, growth over ease. You are striking a blow against it. It's in the moment you get out of bed instead of hitting snooze. It's when you write one more paragraph, make one more call, take one more step. It's when you choose to rise, even when everything inside you wants to stay still. And every time you choose action over apathy, you become stronger, sharper, braver, better. You become someone who is no longer controlled by impulse, but guided by intention. Someone who doesn't just dream, but does. Someone who doesn't just talk about potential, but walks it out. Because consistency kills excuses. And action is the antidote to laziness. So the next time laziness comes knocking, don't invite it in. Don't offer it a seat. Don't let it borrow your hoodie. Slam the door in its face. Look it square in the eye and say, not today, sucker. I've got work to do. I've got a legacy to build. I've got people to inspire. I've got a life to live. Because you were not born to snooze your destiny away. You were not designed to scroll endlessly through life, watching others chase their dreams while yours sit on the shelf. You were made to rise, to run, to roar, to live boldly and build bravely. So go. Be relentless. Be bold. Be brilliant. Be the person lazy